I am tired of seeing videos with titles like this that never actually fucking help. Because high school was a little bit of hell for me, right? I was so alone. I ate on my own at lunch tables every single day. I played games on my phone throughout my classes instead of paying attention. I didn't talk to my classmates. I didn't talk to my teachers. I did everything that I possibly could just to get myself away from facing how shit my own reality was. Because honestly, I saw no way out, bro. I was addicted to video games, to masturbation, to weed, to nicotine. And my story isn't an uncommon one. You've heard stories like this 1,000 times. And I would watch videos with titles like this that would promise to fix me, to make my life better, to help me not feel this aching loneliness every time that I shut my laptop screen. But these guys didn't get me. These guys hadn't battled the same demons that I was battling on a daily basis, saying, you aren't shit. Your classmates hate you. You are fucked. There is something fundamentally wrong with you that you cannot fix, and you are going to die alone because of it. And I'd watch these cute tips and tricks or whatever they had that would have me speak more like Tom Holland, but I ended up ending each one of those videos feeling more alone and misunderstood. And the thing is, bro, you know what to do. You want the five tips, bro. Poor eye contact, using upward inflection, fidgeting, closing off, and excessive affirmation. The thing is, you know that having shit eye contact kills trust. You know that fidgeting looks weird. You're not dumb. You know what to do. So why has it been so hard to put these good habits, these good social habits, into action? You continue making these same mistakes over and over again because of something a lot deeper that no one is talking about. And that's what I want to help you with. Because I don't make these videos just for the click or for the view or for money, bro. My videos aren't monetized. I'm not trying to sell you on some private community. My coaching is closed. I do this because I genuinely want something to click in you after you watch one of my videos. Something that hasn't made sense before that now just fits into place. That means you can now take action in a way that you couldn't, and you can change your life because of it. That is my hope for you with every video of mine that you watch. So if you don't already know who I am, my name is Grenoble, and I'm creating a gang of like-minded young men who are no longer settling for the monotony and depression of living a life with average social skills. If that sounds like something you want to be a part of, hit subscribe right now. Our goal by the end of 2024 is to have 5,000 young men become social celebrities, not just men with a new friend group or men who can finally talk to a stranger, social fucking leaders. And I hope that you are going to be one of them. I will tell you how to counteract the 5 social mistakes that I listed, but first, you have to understand what is actually the root of the problem, because that is how you're going to change. The first thing you have to do is stop labeling yourself and seeing yourself as insecure, as this guy who fucks up socially, as this guy who is just a loner, just doesn't get along with people, right? Because the more that you tell yourself this, the more that you genuinely believe it. And maybe you don't think these things outright, right? Maybe you don't have the thought in your mind that says, I am insecure. But pay attention to the way that you talk to yourself, because that's what's going to signal what you actually believe. So pay attention. How do you speak to yourself every time when you fuck up a social interaction? What are your thoughts like after that? I'm gonna take a bet that it's either something like, I'm a loser, I'm ugly, girls just don't like me. Or you're on the side of thinking, everyone in my class, everyone at this job just sucks. Every single person is just not someone that I wanna talk to because no one is cool. There are no cool people around me. Really, bro? None? The reason this is making your life more shit is because you are constantly giving your goal for your subconscious mind to create. We're going to get psychological, so stay with me, but you live your life through the subconscious, right? Only 10% of the things that we actually do are from conscious thought. Everything else, all the other thoughts, the decisions, the micro expressions that you give off, right? That's from subconscious thinking. It's your automatic processes. It's why you don't talk to strangers, even though you consciously want to make friends. It's why you don't strike up conversations with girls, even though you want a girlfriend. It's because you subconsciously believe that you are not worthwhile, that you are a bother to other people. So it leads you to never even try. If it's always going to go wrong, why even try? And your subconscious makes that decision for you daily, so you don't try. The good news is that you can guide your subconscious by manually giving yourself the thoughts that you want to start thinking over and over again. One of the quickest ways to change your view of yourself and your view of the world is to change your self-talk. Only allow yourself to speak and think thoughts as if you were a close friend you were trying to help. If your best friend went and fucked up a social interaction with a girl, right? What would you say to him? Because you are no longer a bother. You are no longer an insecure guy. You're no longer someone who just doesn't get along with other people, right? You are a social leader in training. The next thing that you need to think about is you have to change your view of failure. When I first went to college, I had a shit track record of being social, bro. I had no friends in high school. I sat alone at lunch tables, like I said, every single day. This, this is fucking sad. I just remembered this, but I wanted to go to senior prom, but I didn't. I missed out because I didn't have any friends to go with and I didn't have a date. I missed my senior prom. Man, that's actually sad. Holy shit. Looking at me, looking at who I was in high school, there was no fucking way that I was going to be socially set up in college. You would not have looked at me and said, this guy is going to make hella friends. But I said, I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway because I'm not living in that lonely hell again. So when I went to college, I failed every day. I went out of my way to do it. I embarrassed myself every time that I went up to talk to a stranger and couldn't form the words. I embarrassed myself every time that I was looking at the floor when I was talking to someone instead of making eye contact. Every single time that I went up, tried to get someone's attention and they ignored me. That was a failure. That was embarrassing. But I kept doing it over and over again because somehow I just had this thought going into college that it was a good thing to fail. And that thought carried me so far. Because instead of seeing it as a loss, as a defeat, I used it as motivation. Because failure inspires winners and it defeats losers. You must stop being afraid to fail. Most people don't even develop mediocre social skills. They aren't able to go up to a stranger at any time and say whatever the fuck they want, right? Whatever is on their mind. They aren't able to be their authentic selves at any point in time. And it's because of one thing. It's because they are afraid to fail. So they never do. Because up until this point, your fear of looking stupid or beta or being disliked, right, has been stronger than your desire, than your want to have these relationships that fucking move you, to have friendships that are incredible, to have girls that want you. When you go in fearing failure, you put so much pressure on yourself to not make social mistakes. And so of course you're going to act weird. Of course you're going to have these things that make you seem insecure because you're putting so much pressure on the situation. You have to realize it's not that big. It never has been. No relationship, no potential relationship with any one person is, bro, because there are so many girls out there, bro. There's so many dudes that you can be friends with who are cool as fuck. If you fuck one situation up, bro, it's fine. Even if you never see that person again, even if they're completely out of your life, it's fine. But more likely, they aren't going to remember it in an hour or tomorrow. You will have another chance. Right now, you have to get through the phase of learning, and you will make mistakes. You will embarrass yourself. You will come off as beta. It's going to happen. But every time you do, you have to celebrate it because now the way that you speak to yourself has changed. Every loss that you face is actually a huge win. It's something you learn that you can take away and use tomorrow. And no matter how it went, because you tried, that is your win because you put in the effort despite every old part of your brain saying, no, don't do it. You overcame that and did it anyway. That is a fucking win to me. And I'm not perfect either, right? I flub shit up all the time. Me and Ian were out at a bar and we were talking to this group of older ladies. We just walked up to these four ladies in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and I was off my game for real. Like, I was making shit eye contact. I was not speaking from my belly, right? I fucked it up bad, bro, but I came away from that experience and I learned something. And I realized, oh shit, this is how I should talk to someone in that age group versus the way that I did. This is a way I should view the situation that I haven't been before. And I got better because of it. I'm now more comfortable approaching and talking to women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. And the only reason that I've become as confident and socially smooth as I am is because I've been willing to face this failure every day, because I'm willing to go through those situations like that and take something away from it. So now that you have some kind of direction, what are practical things that you can start to work on? Let's go back to the 5 social mistakes that you might be making. The first is weak eye contact. As you know, eye contact is the gateway to trust. If you are making poor eye contact, people can't trust you because it seems like you have other motives when you are nervous. When you come off as nervous, people are thinking, why? Why is he nervous? What is he hiding? You have to intentionally look at people longer than comfortable. And you are going to think that you are being weird, that you are staring every time that you do this, but you're not, bro. You're just uncomfortable because you aren't comfortable yet with being seen by another person. That makes you feel vulnerable. But everything new that you haven't done yet is uncomfortable. So is brushing your teeth. So is brushing your teeth when you first started. You just have to get over this period of it being uncomfortable. Something that helped me is picking out the exact color of their eye, not just blue, but what are the little flecks? Are they gold? Are there little bits of yellow? Are they a different shade of blue? It gives your mind something to do while you're making eye contact. Next is upspeaking, which is raising your tone at the end of a sentence. It makes it sound like it's a question, and we tend to do this even with statements because we were raised to defer to authority from school, from our parents. Even as we grow up and become adults, we try to not come off as too demeaning or offensive, so we tend to upspeak. But really, it just shows lack of confidence. But you have to have this mentality. You have to genuinely think that no one is superior to you. No one is better than you. It doesn't mean that you're better than other people, but no one else is better than you. With every sentence, lower the tone of your inflection by the end of it. Even try this with questions. This can sound like, how are you? Versus, how are you? There's a difference. Next is excessive affirmation, right? Whenever you are having a conversation with someone and they are speaking and you go, yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. You do this because you are subconsciously uncomfortable with silence and you want to be liked, but you aren't confident enough yet that you are a likable person. This belief changes whenever you start having genuine friendships and you can just be yourself around people and be genuinely accepted. Because you start to realize that you are just likable just as you are, and you are, bro. You have to start being okay with silence, and every time that you realize that you are over-affirming, take a deep breath. Not just any deep breath, into your freaking balls, bro. I want you to breathe all the way down your stomach, open yourself up, breathe so far down you feel it in your fucking balls. When you do this, you breathe loudly, you breathe deeply, and you become much more relaxed. Next is fidgeting. Just like you have to start being okay with silence, you have to start being okay with stillness. Breathe into your balls every time that you realize you are fidgeting. Come back to the present moment and be still. Whenever you start breathing deeply like this and opening yourself up, there is a difference, bro, in just how you come off, right? People start to see you as more confident, as more assured in yourself. Because why should anyone really give a fuck if they can see your belly move when you breathe? Why should anyone really care if they can hear your breath? Think, how does a man in power breathe? He doesn't care if he stretches out a little bit too far. He doesn't care if people see his belly move, if he bumps someone with his arm. Bro, breathe like a man of power. Lastly, closing off, we naturally do this whenever we get uncomfortable. We don't want to take up space because we don't feel like we deserve to take up space. This stops happening when you become completely comfortable in conversation. When I notice myself doing this, I just think, go gorilla mode. I think, what would the alpha male gorilla do in this situation? What would he look like? The alpha gorilla doesn't really give a fuck with how much space he takes up. He takes up what he feels like he deserves, which is all of it, right? He stretches out, he gets comfortable. He puffs out his chest. So stretch out and get comfortable being in that position. Eventually, all of these habits are going to get so natural that you are no longer going to think about them. So go fail. Go fail and start to succeed, because soon enough, you're going to start believing the things that you are now telling yourself, that you are social, that you are climbing. And that soon, you will just become him. You will become the guy who can talk to anyone and who's almost intimidating with how much confidence that you have. And imagine how incredible it's going to feel, bro, whenever you no longer are worried day to day about how you're coming off. Whenever you go outside and just make friends accidentally. Whenever you get a girl's Instagram and you didn't even really want it that bad because you were in such abundance. To be part of a friend group who genuinely loves each other and cares for one another and has so much respect for you. Because honestly, bro, you help lead it. This side of life is an incredibly rewarding one to be on. So go fail. Start today. If this video was valuable to you, either like it or save it to a playlist so you can come back to it later. And leave a comment on the next step in your journey, because not only do you inspire me, but you inspire every other man who's only one step behind you. So act now, bro, and become unstoppable.